Let's get started with part 1. The first part of today's math lesson is all about adding and subtracting fractions. This should be review for most everyone because we've done this several times this year, but it's always good to practice. Let's start with me modeling and then solving one together. Let me show you how I would solve an addition problem with fractions. 1/6 plus 3/6 plus 2/6 is my first problem. Since all of the denominators are the same, we can simply add the numerators. Here we have 1 plus 3 is 4, plus 2 more is 6. So our answer is 6/6. Remember, when the numerator and denominator are the same, that fraction is equal to 1 whole. That was pretty easy. Let's try one together. So on your paper, you need to write this addition number sentence and then solve it, and then we'll check it together. First, let's start by writing 1/5 plus 4/5 plus 3/5 equals, you're going to solve this one on your own. So pause the video, solve this problem, and remember, if your answer comes out as an improper fraction, you need to change it to a mixed number. Once you have your answer for this addition number sentence, turn the video back on and we'll check your work. All right, let's check this number sentence. Since the denominators are all the same, all you have to do is add the numerators. So we have 1 plus 4 is 5, plus 3 more is 8. So our answer is 8/5, and that's an improper fraction. So we need to change this to a mixed number. We need to ask ourselves, how many times does 5 go into 8? Or how many groups of 5 can you get out of 8? If you're not sure, you can simply make 8 tally marks like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and see how many groups of 5 you can make. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can only make 1 group of 5, and then you have 3 left over, and the denominator stays 5. So 1/5 plus 4/5 plus 3/5 equals 8/5, or 1 3/5. Okay, now I'm going to erase my board and we're going to practice a little bit with subtracting fractions. I'll model one first and then we'll do one together. All right, the first one that I'm going to solve is 8/10 minus 5/10. My denominators are the same, so all I have to do is subtract my numerators. And since 8 is bigger than 5, I can simply say, what is 8 minus 5? And that's 3. So my answer is 3/10. Let's try one together. On your paper, I want you to write this fraction. Let's start with 9/12 minus 4/12. Pause your video now, solve this problem, and then turn it back on to check. All right, since our denominators already match here, you simply have to ask yourself, what's 9 minus 4? And that's 5. And you write it over 12. So the answer would be 5/12. Let's try one more that's pretty simple, but you have to do a little bit of work on the answer. So let's try this time. Let's try 7/10 minus 2/10. 7/10 minus 2/10. Solve this one on your paper. Pause your video as you do it and try to get your answer into lowest terms. Once you have your answer, turn your video back on. All right, let's check to see what you had for your answer. Since the two denominators are already the same, all you have to do is subtract 7 minus 2. And that's 5/10, 5/10. Now, if I asked you to put that into lowest terms, you would need to figure out what is a factor of both 5 and 10. Or you could think, look at this one and say, how can I make this fraction even smaller? What are some equivalent fractions? If you'll notice, by looking at your numerator and your denominator, you might have said, oh, look, 5 is half of 10. So 5/10 is equal to 1/2. You could have gotten that by saying, what is 5 divided by 5? That's 1. What is 10 divided by 5? That's 2. So if you're trying to find factors of both 5 and 10, that would be 5. Or you might just have recognized that 5 is half of 10. So 5/10 is equal to 1/2. This is the end of part 1. So you need to now go into your Google form and answer a couple of addition and subtraction problems involving fractions. Then you'll have part 2 of today's video.